The DREAM Act has been coming up in the law lately and the news. Can you just tell us in a few sentences what the DREAM Act is?
The DREAM Act is proposed legislation that is being considered in the U.S. Senate, and there's a similar bill being considered in the U.S. House of Representatives that would address the situation of immigrant minors who were brought to the U.S. as young children, who were brought to the U.S. without any sort of status, and who are now in a state of limbo. If these students can meet certain eligibility requirements, then the students would be granted something called conditional permanent resident status. It would be a temporary status that would enable them to either enroll in college or enlist in the U.S. military. During the time they had this conditional status and are either going to school or in the military, they would have the right to work in the U.S., to get a driver's license, the right to travel within the United States. These are things that they otherwise would not have a right to do. In order to be eligible to apply for the initial conditional permanent resident status, students must show that they have been physically present and residing in the United States for at least 5 years, going back from the date of whenever this law gets enacted. They have to show that they were age 15 or younger when they were brought to the United States. They have to show that they have graduated from a U.S. high school or obtained a GED in the U.S., or show that they have been admitted to an institute of higher education, basically a college or university. In addition, they have to be between the ages of 12 and 35 years old at the time they apply for this. And finally, they have to show that they are and have been since they arrived a person of good moral character. One of the most common misconceptions is that the DREAM Act is a form of general amnesty for illegal immigrants, and in fact it's not. First of all, it's not really an amnesty. An amnesty is a pardoning of a crime. In most of these cases, these youth have not committed a crime. They were brought to the U.S. By parents. They did not make a decision. In fact, they don't have the legal competence to even make those sort of decisions. It's more properly called a legalization program because they will have to do steps to become legal. It's not something that's given to them. So for example, going to school, maintaining student status, serving the U.S. honorably in our military, those are things that would need to be done before they would be considered for this status. I think it's very commonly thought that under our U.S. immigration laws that immigration judges already have the authority to consider situations like this where someone maybe did nothing wrong and is in the U.S. illegally by no fault of their own. But in fact, under current U.S. immigration laws, immigration judges have absolutely no authority to consider factors like that.